Like something from an old black and white monster flick, it came lurking out of the basement and arrived on the scene, affecting everything it came in contact with, learning, growing, and exploring. The creature in mention is music, and the artists who create it. Often, when musicians go from the safety of home to the judgmental horrors of the public eye, it can be much scarier than any monster from the Black Lagoon. We decided to dive into this creature and find out from local artists why they picked up an instrument and the journey they have been on, including why they came out of the basement.
Like any artisan, no two musicians have the same origins. Joe Vickers shares with us how he found himself getting into music.
Started playing music at the age of 15, I want to say. It was 14 or it was 15. I worked one summer, and when the fall came around, I bought a purple Squire guitar, and it was one of those packages that came with an amp and tuner and chords and a whammy bar that I never used. But I bought it, and I played it in my room, and I was getting into the Ramones and the Clash, and those were easy songs to learn, and songs that were great because you didn't have to be good. If you knew 3 chords, you were fine. You still didn't have to be good, and you could just scream. And what teenager doesn't want to do that?
Joe is currently playing guitar, banjo, and harmonica in audio rocketry, as well as his solo projects.
Many musicians are content with practicing their craft and fantasizing about a life with their music. But those fantasies remain just that, fantasies. For those brave souls who venture out of their practice spaces and into the professional world, it takes something special.
Every artist has their own story on why they stepped out. And with it, the experiences and reasons of these artists seem to help them find their path. Sydney Burgess, who has been playing for 3.5 years, tells the story of how she got her first show.
I lost a bet, actually. One night, my boss and a couple coworkers and I were knocking back a few brews, and she bet me an arm wrestle that if I lost, I would play at Vendome. And I lost, obviously.
I'd say you won.
Yeah, I think so too.
The music scene is an interesting animal. It appears to be just as alive as any organism. The idea of music can't be simply boxed in and perfected. It's lived and experienced and expressed.
Jordan Barrett has had music take him different places, from fundamental breakthroughs to hilarious memories that last a lifetime.
We had 2 goldfish that we found in a small town just outside St. Andrews. There was a wedding in town, and I guess they were giving out goldfish as party favors, and somebody just left this bowl of 2 goldfish sitting on the sidewalk outside the venue that we were playing. So we had them for 4 or 5 days. We woke up in St. John, New Brunswick, and one of the goldfish was dead in the bowl, while the other goldfish was swimming around with a bit of a mischievous look in his eye, a little bit of a maniacal kind of twitch. We settled it all in a bit of a court and determined that Frank had murdered Julie. These were the names of the goldfish. Had murdered Julie overnight. And we decided the capital punishment was, in order, death by swallowing. We had one gentleman on the road that was a bit out there. His name was Fraser, and while doing a funeral for Julie, I think we sang Dust in the Wind. That was the last we saw of both goldfish, actually. One went down the toilet, one went down Fraser.
Any one person could pick up an instrument and spend time learning scales, modes, and time signatures. But that doesn't make them an artist. Like a recipe that has a secret ingredient, each artist has a fire behind them that fuels why they commit themselves to the art.
Evan Hilterman is a classical guitar major at Ambrose University. He expresses why, as musicians, we feel compelled to play music.
A big thing in music is expressing not only your own feelings, but the feelings of the people who are listening, and that's what draws them in to listen because they're feeling the same thing. So I guess the biggest thing would be just learning how to reach out to people and help express the audience's feelings through your own playing.
What is the life expectancy? Time is always a question. If the stardom never comes, how long will you stick with your passion before settling and giving up? Calgary punk rock veteran Mikey Blotto tells us just how long he's in for.
As long as I'm upright, I will be, for sure. No desire to stop, no desire to slow down. It's such a big part of my life that if I wasn't doing it, I would feel lost. You know, it's not about like some big fancy mansion or nice car or lots of money. It's just about the passion and the brotherhood or sisterhood, for that matter, to build that and like carry that on is all I really need in music. But definitely to have that as long as I possibly can is important.
From all that we've learned and from all that we've seen, the music community has taken us on a journey to remember.
There's a story behind every aspect of an artist, which sets the foundation for why they play music day in and day out. One thing that can be taken away from those artists who have ventured from their basements is that music is a commitment to a never-ending adventure.
Every day, more of these timid and inexperienced artists take the plunge and come out of the basement.
in a medicine bag. Carry what is good. Letters from the place where my roots were sown. Borrowed she dances as a song is born. Thank you so much, everybody.